wanted to do a bit of a update because I'm sort of between videos, but there's a few little smaller things I'm gonna smudge into this video to tell you about. First of all, these shells were on Daniel Green's book roast, and he was very harsh about my knickknacks. No, it's all good fun. Honestly, I actually have a much neater bookshelf that I am really proud of. But where's the fun in sharing that? The only thing I am disappointed in is that he didn't say anything about my cat Bobby, who was on the chair right there. So I didn't get any pet points. This is the problem with having a black cat. She is just a void that you don't see. But back to more book-related chat. Let's discuss book haul-ish. Is a mini one, so it's not really worth doing a whole video on because I bought so much in December to February, Christmas, followed by birthday. So I'm still just trying to get through a lot of those, and so I'm pulling back on buying things. But you know, it's just not gonna stop me buying entirely. Digitally, I bought Harrow the Ninth because I wanted to make an effort to actually carry on with some series that I started more than a year ago, especially with the Locked Tomb series, just because they are quite complicated. So I wanted to carry on reading before I forgot everything. There's a reason why there was a gap. The end of book one did kill me a little bit, and so I knew that I needed that space before I could approach the second book. But that's all I'm going to say. Going to be very careful of spoilers. But the next thing I bought was this gorgeous book. Like, it's one of those that just like absolutely caught my eye. And look at the spine. And I am just sadly my katakana isn't as good as my hiragana. I keep forgetting like half of them. But yes, this just says Lady, what is it? No, Ready Yoga. Yeah, it's basically the title of the book in katakana. But it's not just pretty. It's Japanese fiction. You know, I'm definitely on a Japanese fiction, not binge, but you know, it's very much what I'm enjoying at the moment. And on top of that, it's supposedly inspired by... Where's the thing? Inspired by the unsolved true crime kidnapping case perpetrated by the monster with 21 faces. And I know about that, and it's really interesting if you like true crime. I'm pretty sure BuzzFeed Unsolved did, back when it was Ryan and Shane, they did an episode on the monster with the 21 faces. Really weird case, and it's unsolved. The series is called Unsolved, so yes, it's still an unsolved case. So yeah, really excited to get to that, but I've got to finish off the Japanese classics before I get to it. And next is a Mistborn box set, which should be arriving tomorrow, but I will come back to that because I want to talk about Mistborn a little bit. So I don't know whether to do more general catch-ups about what I'm reading at the moment, to give a more general thoughts as I'm reading stuff, rather than trying to ram everything into one video. I think the March reading wrap-up is going to be a biggie. For some reason, it's gone from like just a few books in February to like a load, partly because I had 2 novellas which I could just like bash out in a couple of days, and also just because I felt like I wanted to start catching up and get a lot of reading done. Anyway, so I'm slowly making my way through Putin's People for obvious reasons. This has actually been on my shelf for a few months. This was part of my December haul. I never got the video out because unfortunately the lighting was terrible, so yeah, that never made it to YouTube. But yeah, this was part of the December batch of books. I kind of saw it and thought it was interesting, but also heard more about Catherine Belton through the Gaslit Nation podcast, and I know that she's been hounded by various people, and the attempts to sue her have been made, and I kind of feel like if stuff like that's going on, maybe it means that people are trying to keep stuff in here hidden. And it's just a really interesting history, even though I am 80 pages, so not quite 100 pages through, but it's such a dense book. It's probably going to take me a couple of months more at least, and also to be in the right frame of mind to be approaching something like this. So Harrow the Ninth, as I said, I picked that up and I am in the middle of reading it. Oh, I have so many thoughts. I really kind of struggled. I struggled for a bit. I kind of liked I'd heard that there was second person chapters, and that's actually, I'd say, probably the bulk of the book. Really not my favourite, but I saw that there was a logic to why she was using that. And basically, for me, I thought it was a character speaking to Harrow, and because of that, it felt okay to read it in that way. It's still, on top of that though, you also have a character who's kind of mad. So on top of these really complicated, weird scenarios and ideas, you also have a character who's not completely with it and is an unreliable narrator. So yeah, I definitely, maybe it's because I was trying to get through a lot in one day. I definitely had a moment where I was like, I need to get past the stuff and I need things to start making sense. But I came back out of that, and I've hit a point where revelations have happened, and I think things are going to roll along a lot quicker now. And looking at some reviews, I'd seen that someone said that basically after the sort of like 70% mark-ish, things just like go at a good pace and are really cool. So I think I've hit that point, and I'm really excited to finish it off. Next, I'm getting through the Wind Up Bird Chronicle. Don't know if I'll get to finish this before the end of March. I guess it kind of depends how much reading I want to do at the weekend. So we'll see. Basically, this is my attempt to read through the Japanese classics because I want to do a video on that. I'm enjoying it so far. It's it's weird. It's because it's I saw the size of it. It's like 600 pages. It's big, and on top of that, you look at it, and the font is actually really small as well. So I don't know how many words it is for the whole thing. But it's a weirdly easy read. So I've got to 200 pages and I don't really feel like I've had to work that hard to get through it. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I read Wild Sheep Chase first to have a smaller book kind of inform me of Murakami's style. Because yeah, looking at it, and I know that this is such a well-known Murakami book, and I kind of saw it as like maybe his magnum opus. I think because it kind of came with expectations, and I kind of thought it'd be like really deep and a really thought-provoking thing. Not that it's not, but at the moment it's just kind of weird things are happening to this man. I'm enjoying it. I think it's weird that this was the easy read compared to Harrow, which is like the comedy book. But there it is, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Okay, next is what is sort of coming up for me. Like I said, Mistborn arrived, and what I want to do is I actually want to do a reading vlog about those. I don't know if anyone out there wants to reread Mistborn or read it alongside with me. I don't have a set date, but basically April for the first book in Mistborn. So I'm going to be vlogging my read through of that, which should be fun. I've been really looking forward to reading Mistborn because I read Stormlight first and I absolutely loved them. But I know how much people adore these books, so I'm really excited to get started on those. So yeah, look out for that next month. And also next month, sort of book adjacent, is Camp Nanowrimo. I really wanted to spend a lot more time writing this year, but as always happens, life doesn't quite go how you expect. So I've not been writing as much as I thought I would in the last couple of months. But I kind of knew that Camp Nano was on the horizon, so I've set that in my diary, and that will be the cue to push other things aside and really focus on writing. So I think at the moment it means that my Japanese will probably take a little bit of a back step. Maybe I won't be doing the hardcore lessons that I've been doing and just do little practices in the morning, and then I'll just get onto writing every day. I'm really excited. It's been so long since I've done NaNoWriMo. The other thing is I've not quite settled in on a project. I thought I wanted to do one, which is a sequel to... Where is it? So I wanted to do a sequel to this book that I self-published years ago. It's an in-progress story, but the nice thing about Camp Nano is that it's supposed to be really flexible. You can set your own goals, you can use it to finish projects, do whatever. So it's absolutely perfect for where I'm at. So I was going to finish off, or at least try and make some headway with the sequel to this. But then I kind of realised that I have another book called Monsters 1 that I actually did, oh god, this is depressing, nearly 10 years ago for NaNoWriMo. I did the 50k challenge and I got to 50k and I had sort of come to a natural stop. Not that it wasn't the end of the book at all. So I also think it might be useful to just finally make some headway and get a first draft of that finished. So yeah, it's the choice between doing my first sequel or actually getting a project finished. So currently leaning towards the Monsters one, I think, actually. So we'll see, but I've got another week to finalise that and decide. And I will need to reread my old work before I'm in a position to actually carry on and actually do some of the planning. Sorry, I keep rubbing my eye. It's like we're getting into hay fever season, so I always feel like there's something in my eye. And before I go, I'm just going to say thank you, Daniel Green, for being so nice about the cover for my second book. My illustrator, Rachel George, she does such an amazing job. I honestly feel so privileged to know and be able to work with an illustrator who's as good as this. So I'm just really happy that he took the time to kind of compliment the cover. because I'm very proud of it. I think that'll do, yeah. So I think the next video will be the wrap up. Yeah, not sure if I'm gonna split that up or what, because I think I'm on 6 books, so there'll probably be 7 by the time I'm done. Yeah, and I don't want another hour-long video, so we'll see. And I think I probably should have stopped to do some full-on reviews for some of the books, so I might do that as well. So yeah. Oh, and there's another big video that, oh my god, sorry, I keep thinking of updates. It's weird, I don't feel like I'm doing a lot until I stop and chat about it. I am also doing a big video, and it looks like it's becoming quite long, so we'll see what happens with that one, but that is me revisiting a fantasy series I loved when I was a teenager, so I want to see how I feel about it now. So maybe look forward to that, we'll see. Okay, I think that will actually do. See you in the next video, thanks for watching, bye! I know, how could Daniel Green forget about you? I mean, look at his face!